doesn't have to end in a fight, Tony.
You just started a war.
So the second Captain America Civil War trailer has dropped, and the Marvel fanboy nation basically exploded with excitement because, well, they included Spider-Man. It felt like the moment of a special homecoming for Peter Parker as he spun his way into the last scene of the trailer. For Marvel fans, it was a huge deal seeing Spidey with the likes of Cap and Iron Man, and considering that loads of fans were probably too excited with seeing the introduction of a certain wall crawler, you may have missed some of the other things that went down in the trailer. So we're breaking it down for you here on SquareEyed. First up is the shot we get of what we think is the raft, which looks like it will replace what was Prison 42 in the comics. Prison 42 was the place where all the supervillains and everyone who didn't comply to the Superhero Registration Act were locked up. It was designed by Tony Stark and Hank Pym and placed into the Negative Zone, but Marvel don't own the rights to the Negative Zone, therefore they can't use it. But we do have a prison, and it looks as though it may be for Cap, or indeed any superhero we love, so it'll definitely be interesting to see how this plays out. In the trailer we get a brief glimpse of T'Challa crying after a mega explosion. Although we're not sure if it's Wakanda, we believe T'Challa's father dies in this explosion, presumably caused by the Winter Soldier. This leads to the epic chase sequence we see that has Black Panther leaping over a car to take down Bucky on his motorbike. This sets up a really exciting arc for the film that will centre on the personal beef Black Panther has with Bucky. And yes, it will be amazing. Speaking of Black Panther, did you notice that his suit is totally bulletproof? Yeah, that's definitely worth another look. Something that we completely missed during our first watch of the trailer was the cryogenic freeze scene. At the start we saw Bucky emerge from the same chamber, but the second time we see it towards the end of the trailer, he's standing next to Iron Man and Cap. So who is in that freeze? There is a chance this is Daniel Bruhl's Baron Zemo, who we haven't seen yet in any photo or footage so far. But Bruhl has already said Zemo won't wear the mask and is only loosely connected to the comics, so it's tough to predict exactly what will happen with him. Either way, we've been a big Bruhl fan since Rush, so we're excited. Not that there was any doubt about it, but Hydra is clearly behind all of this chaos. It's really difficult to see, but there's a Hydra logo right at the very start, and we also get our first look at Crossbones, who we last saw as Brock Rumlow in The Winter Soldier. Back now as his alter ego, he's clearly pissed at Cap, and although we're unsure on the specifics of his involvement, it's entirely possible that Crossbones is responsible for the international incident which leads to the Sokovia Accords being passed. Yep, it looks like Crossbones is back with a vengeance, ready to unleash mayhem on everyone's favourite Star-Spangled Avenger. In the scene where Scarlet Witch takes down Vision, we get an indication of her showing off her enhanced powers because of the Mind Gem experiment we saw before Age of Ultron. The fact she can take down Vision means that her powers are potentially getting out of hand, which links back to Tony Stark saying to Cap, superheroes need to be kept in check. It's possible that in the post-credits scene we could get a discussion of how Scarlet Witch's powers need to be harnessed, and that would be the perfect opportunity to introduce Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange into the MCU, don't you think? Of course, it makes sense because Doctor Strange is due to be released in November. Perhaps the nerdiest and most popular moment of the trailer, even more so than Spider-Man, was Hawkeye shooting Ant-Man through the air on his arrow. This is an obvious but really awesome nod to the comics, and there is also a rumour that we'll see Giant Man in the film, but it looks like we'll have to wait for that. Yes, it's really him. When Spider-Man finally appeared in the last sequence of the trailer, it's fair to say it more than tingled the internet's spidey senses. While some corners of the Marvel fanbase murmured with discontent about the way he looked, other hardened fans lapped up every second. True, the first time you see him it looks like some dodgy CGI mishap, but take a closer look and it reveals the attention to detail Marvel has paid in designing this costume. The costume we see in the trailer is high-tech, so it's possible that Tony Stark designed it. There's a nod to the classic comic book writers Alex Ross and Steve Ditko with those narrow eyes and logo on the back. People have inevitably drawn comparisons to Deadpool's eyes, but because we see them reduce as the camera zooms in on his mask, it seems like they work very much like a camera lens. They've also given him mechanical web shooters and refill cartridges on his belt. We can almost hear the Marvel Nation fanboying it out right now. It has really grown on us. So that's what we thought about the new Captain America Civil War trailer, but we want you to tell us what you thought. Sound off in the comments below and make sure to check out our 7 Reasons Civil War will be Marvel's masterpiece video, which you can do by clicking the link now. Remember to subscribe to SquareEyed and stay tuned for more Marvel videos. If Game of Thrones is your thing, click on the video to the left where we explore one of the most popular fan theories coming true in Season 6. Or if you're more Force inclined, click to the right to find out how Star Wars Episode 8 will pick up from The Force Awakens.
You're gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it! Superhero landing! Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.